right, everybody, welcome back to the TI4 European Qualifiers here on High Ground TV, presented to you by Monster. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Virtus Pro versus Aware Gaming. It's been a bit of a long night, but we're back. We're in the game. We're in the draft. We're here. We're ready to go. Caffeine at the ready or in your body for the most part for Greg. Once again, I'm Mott. With me is What Is Hip. How you feeling, buddy?
Good. I'm feeling good. I had a lot of caffeine by accident and no jitters, just juiced up and ready to go.
You'll be all right. Yeah, well, I mean, Virtus Pro versus Aware Gaming. Aware we haven't seen yet. We've watched them a lot.
They're not in good shape, though.
They're not. I think they're 0-3. Let's get to the standings here. We are going into our, I believe, fifth round of games right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's... Right now, Aware Gaming, they are in fact 0-3. Let's see who they've lost to. They've lost to NextKZ, they've lost to MYM, and they have lost to... Rock's Kiss. So, not the best start for
losing to MYM
this Russian squad. It's unfortunate, but...
I mean, they were definitely not exactly favorites coming into this.
Yeah, I mean, this team is like a team that has so much potential, I feel like, but just so much, I feel like, miscommunication. They've been together for a while. Now they're going up against Virtus Pro, who are coming off of a big victory against Power Rangers. Virtus Pro sitting at 2-1. As we look at the other standings as well, you look at Rocks, they're 4-0. Mouse Sports are 3-0. Power Rangers 2-1. Just went down to Virtus Pro. Team Coast 2-1, who just lost to Mouse Sports. That was a big game in Team Coast. They dropped the ball there, but Mouse Sports
look really good.
They're looking solid, man.
We saw them the other day in the Summit. They played pretty well. Ended up losing to Fnatic in the end, but I think it was a drafting error, not a play error.
Yes,
so,
yeah.
Drafting, I don't know, sometimes you don't get a great draft and you just lose because of it, where you draft predictably and you lose because of it. So
yeah,
it's a hard thing to really say, they're bad because their draft was bad.
Yeah.
Their play is still very good, and they're proving it.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this tournament.
Absolutely, yeah. We are going to jump into the draft. It's been a while. We can just go right in here. Boom, goes the dynamite, and it's been a long 5 games. We've been all over the place. In fact, I started a bit earlier. I did 2 games with Ziori this evening, so that gives me, let's see here, the 2 games, plus we did 2 games together, I believe. Or was it 3? It was 2 games, so 4. Then I did an Obsin game, so that's 5. So this is my 6th game casting tonight, which I'm not going to complain about. I've had a lot of fun doing it, but a long night, I guess you could say morning here, as we're 8:30 on the Pacific Coast. The beautiful... Well, not sunny today, but beautiful Los Angeles, California. Pretty warm coming up this week. For the drafts, Virtus Pro, they'll pick up the Bat Rider and the Lycan. For Aware, they'll pick up the Shadow Demon and the Brewmaster. Something that's interesting is that Brewmaster's actually played support in the last 2 games for Virtus Pro, which is like, NS, he did work in the last game. The game before that, not so much, but yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm interested to see if Aware kind of do something similar, or if we see more of traditional, like, mid-lane Brewmaster. I'm not sure. I mean, it worked. They won.
Yeah, they did. That's
true.
Mean, that's all that matters,
I can't flame it if they won.
It's all that matters.
You get the win, you get the win.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how it works. I mean, I guess you could argue, like, farm is okay. Like, really the only crucial item on Brew is Blink, right? Like, Ags is nice.
Yes.
But...
It's not key. It's not critical.
I mean, it's
to your
not like
success.
it's not like the hero's useless without it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested, really, is all I can say. It doesn't look like we're going to have that this game, as Shadow Demon and Dazzle are picked up by Aware. And this is just a very stable lane.
Easy lane, in fact. Yeah. Shadow Demon Dazzle is solid. And I almost feel like teams know how to play up against him. I might be wrong about that. I mean, he's just such a strong pairing. It's such a strong pairing for Aware. But the real question is, what do you lane with that? They go for the Axe, which is so good.
This is an amazing
It's a really good lane. If you run an aggro tri-lane, how do you deal with that? You've got a Gyrocopter, who will probably be your safe lane farmer. Bat Rider in the off lane, they'll go for Keeper of the Light, which is okay, I guess, against this, because of Disruption generally sets you up for an Illuminate one way or the other.
Unless you're the one getting disrupted.
Yeah, that's also very true.
Yeah.
I don't know. It really comes down to Coddle's positioning here, and this is...
I wonder if they try to dodge this tri-lane.
They might have to, in fact. But
I don't think you can lane against this.
If they dodge the tri-lane, then this Bat Rider's going to get nothing. The Creep's going to cut the wave. He's going to have to head to the jungle at some point. They're pretty much going to get a free tower out of it, at the very least. And Gyro will secure farm against the offlane, whatever it is for Aware Gaming, which they haven't picked up yet. They've already got that Brewmaster. He's probably going to go mid, which probably means this Lycan's mid as well for Virtus Pro. I don't see it going in either way. They can lane it kind of to their favor, but the thing is, if you send Lycan in like in that try/dual lane, like that's just as bad as having a Gyrocopter. At least with Gyrocopter, you have Rocket Barrage, which is a bit more effective against zoning out the Dazzle, the Shadow, even Max to a certain extent. So,
Death Prophet ban here from Virtus Pro is kind of weird. Don't really see how that would slot into their lineup. I mean, I guess it's an okay solo safe lane farmer. So maybe it is an okay ban.
Yeah, I don't.
It doesn't seem like the best though. I don't know.
I don't mind it. I don't know. There's a lot of options here for Aware. Like solo safe lane there are so many things you can do because the pool is open to a wide variety. If you feel like you're going up against, let's say, a Bat Rider, that's the biggest thing. You want to pick up a matchup that's favorable against not only a Bat Rider, but maybe an aggro tri-lane in and of itself. So, Aware have a couple of options here, and by a couple, it really comes down to what do you get? What works well with a stick up against Bat Rider? Because that's what you're going to be buying against a Bat Rider. You're going to buy that early stick as quickly as possible and just try to do your job, essentially. It's not going to be a Centaur, it's not going to be a Darkseer, it's not going to be a Death Prophet. All of those were banned out. Weaver! That's fair. But you can also use the Weaver in an aggro try and then send Axe solo safely. And I think that's maybe a bit worse, but...
I think the aggressive potential of the Axe Dazzle Shadow Demon tri-lane is pretty hard to...
Yeah, it's probably a bit higher.
Pretty hard to give up. I mean, it's so good. Like, this is a lane we've seen a couple times. And every time we see it, they just... Like, you have to dissolve the tri-lane. There's no way you can fight against that, especially now with Gyro Keeper in the lane. That is just not happening.
Absolutely. So, one more pick to go. Virtus Pro have to get another support, probably. Gyro, Keeper of the Light, so very strong together, but in this game might not be enough. We'll see. 1 minute and 36 seconds. Thanks so much for joining us today, guys. All of you in game as well. I know you are listening, obviously, and hopefully everything's going well in game as well. I mean, the stream's nice and decent quality. Not sure if we could say the same. I'm sure it's fine there, but there's a lot of action today.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Dota. Today and tomorrow. I mean, like the Mars TV League as well.
Get up at like 8 o'clock, cast Mars with somebody. I believe it's Giannis, and then go do more Dota up here.
Casting with Giannis, I'm jealous.
Yeah, I that's the one thing. I've casted with some pretty cool people this here at TI. So you just gotta get in there, man. You gotta be aggressive.
Ooh, this could. This is kind of spicy.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
Yeah,
I like this a lot coming up for War Gaming. We're gonna jump back to the camera as I set up some camera settings here in console that you don't need to necessarily see. So
I don't know if console works on this computer.
It should. It works in game. I know it does because it's enabled. I'm pretty. Oh, if it's not enabled, I'm gonna be sad, man. I'm gonna be ultra sad. I might even just like leave Dota just to make it work. I could deal with it, but it's annoying. Well, either way, G's gonna be playing the Lycan, so it is gonna be mid Lycan. Seema the Slayer is gonna be up the Weaver. He's generally the carry, I believe. Hakan is going to be on the Axe. He's usually the offlaner, I believe. Lolik is their mid, so that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, this is standard. This is all standard, so please work. That's not working. It's not those buttons either. I lost, dude.
You lost.
All right, well, we're going to just go right into the game. No. We're not going to restart. I think I'm just going to handle it. And here we go. We're going to jump into the game right now for... It is Aware Gaming versus Virtus Pro on the Aware side in this Radiant lineup. It's going to be Hakan. He'll be on the Axe. Stress will be on the Dazzle. Lolico will be on the Brewmaster. Roger on that Shadow Demon to round it all out. It's going to be Seema the Slayer. They're going for a level 1 smoke. Hold that thought, though, as we get you in for the lineup of Virtus Pro.
Virtus Pro, it's going to be NS on the Coddle. Illidan Storm Rage, he's going to be playing the Gyrocopter. Jadam on the Earthshaker. In the mid lane, we've got God Killed Maul on the Lycan, and all the way down bottom, Arsard or Smile when you're picking up the Bat Rider.
Yeah, man, we got all the original names going out. Not many people know he's called God Kill Them All, or even God for that matter. They just assume it's G, but
yeah.
And then Smile, obviously, for Arsard.
God Kill Them All, that's a badass name.
And
better
then,
than Enter God mode.
Do you call Light of Heaven? Do you call him Lost or Light of Heaven?
Light of Heaven.
Yeah, I think I do that too. I don't know how many people call him Lost anymore, but...
Not a lot.
Yeah. I believe that was like his WoW name or something like that, because I know he played a lot of WoW, but...
WoW Fiend. WoW's a game that I never really played.
WoW's a game that I played exclusively for.
I know, yeah. A lot of people really liked it. I just never really played it.
Oh my god, what's going on back here?
Cats are going ham.
please stop.
Calm down, kitty.
Is there a problem over here?
We have a conflict between our cats. I'm gonna remove a cat
Hey,
from the situation.
Sophie, get.
I'll remove a cat from the
All right,
situation.
we're working it out. Meow, you can hear it in the background right now. Sima's going to head to the bottom lane right now. Roger's going to go ahead, and it looks like there was a double damage rune. I'm not sure. No, it was regeneration. It was grabbed by someone or killed. Either way, not going to matter. It is going to be this aggressive tri-land for Aware. Hakan coming through, and Roger's here as well. It's try versus try. You mentioned they might dodge this. That's not going to be the case. Jottam and NS, I feel like Earthshaker works really well here. If you Fisher block
Yeah,
any sort
really
of
like
aggression, this might be good.
I think Earthshaker is probably one of the only heroes that has a chance at actually breaking up this initiation. But because of the really long range on Fisher, I think there's a chance. And they're going to go aggressive on the Shadow Demon. Take advantage of his low HP pool. I like this a lot.
The one way to dictate play against an aggressive tri-lane is to be aggressive yourselves, and they're doing just that. So Illidan not really providing much there except flat cannon damage, and then Jottam with the Fisher and to Illuminate combo doing some work. Lalik and G going back and forth together in this mid lane. That should be an interesting matchup. Down bottom, Sima the Slayer already has his stick ready to go. Arsart should do just fine here, but Sima can also get some last hits, assuming he doesn't take too much damage from that sticky napalm. But top is going to be where the action happens.
Yeah, mid lane, Lalik has taken a point in Drunken Haste first. I really like this in the melee versus melee matchup. Gives you a lot of game against melee heroes. Everything just becomes a gamble for last hit, and if you get too close, you might take a crit, you might take a thunderclap, and that's a lot of damage. So, interesting choice here. Not too surprised to see it. We saw this when it's like Brewmaster versus TA. That's pretty common as well. So,
yeah.
I'm a big fan of this point in Drunken Haze.
Yeah, I am as well. I really like the fact that he gets this early on. He doesn't need the clap necessarily. He will for this gank attempt, which Roger and, well, Stress are here for.
This looks bad for God.
Yeah, G is way far up right now. Now he's just backing off. It's a bit too late. There's no Soul Catcher coming out. The Shadow Wave is going to go. G getting clapped up. There's the Drunken Haze. Can they get this kill? No TP rotation. It's going to be first blood for Lulico. That is a huge pickup coming out for this Brewmaster.
Yeah, and the Courier almost came up there too. That could have been worse. The Courier was like right here. And, well, then he died, turns it around. Still has the bottle on it, and going to deliver that. But, yeah, that definitely could have been worse.
Yeah, I mean, he will go down. They're still staying around, though. Aware, Stress, and Roger are ready to go. Up in the top lane, this doesn't give a whole lot of room for Hakan to farm or be aggressive, but they can start...
This lane actually, I have to say... I think the biggest thing is just the distance of initiation for Coddle and Earthshaker. Seems to be working really well against this tri-lane.
Yeah, they want to fight from a long range, and they certainly are able to do so. But,
I'm into it.
yeah, I'm also into it. I like it. I can dig it. Roger and Stress are just going to be like, okay, we're just going to get boots real quick and go from there. They're still sticking around mid for whatever reason. They're going to head top now instead.
They're still
down
a really
bottom,
potent ganking duo, though.
That's true. They can roam around pretty much get kills anywhere, even down bottom of the Bat Riders. So, but now Hakan looking to just get some CS under the tower here. The culling, rather the counter helix procs, making it kind of difficult. And he misses the other one, not to like go super in depth. Jottam is here, ready to gank on this Brewmaster. With how they might have enough damage on their own. Yeah, there's going to be the Drunken Haze. The Wolves are going to go as well. The Leak about to get blocked here. Jottam is going to get that Fisher block. This is going to be big. Can G get this kill? Howl is not used. It's still on cooldown. Now he's going to Drunken Haze the Wolves as well. It was a nice try, but
Still
the
a lot
kill.
of damage put out on Leak there, and he has to run
Yeah.
all the way around. Has no bottle charges. Top lane, no initiation. Illidan looks like he's going to avoid the brunt of it, but he's still right next to everyone. Can he actually make it out? Rocket barraging, trying to take someone down with him, not able to do so. Dazzle going to pick up that, and that's just the killing potential of this tri-lane. You have to be very careful.
And they need a lot more of that, though. I like the fact
they
that
need
they're
that
able
a
to.
lot.
They need to get him like 2 or even 3 or 4 times just to shut him down. So, I like what they're doing, but with the double damage rune, now they need to make something happen here with this maybe. I don't know. They can head back top. They can get a gank from the league. He can come around. Oh, the Wolves don't let him deny it. The Wolves, no. Okay, good. He does pick it up in the end. They were in Viz, I believe.
I think they were on move command. I imagine that if he was paying a little bit better attention, he probably could have got that deny.
Yeah,
the Wolves
it was
are
very close.
Much faster than the heroes.
Yeah, very, very close. But nonetheless, they don't get the deny on that rune. We're 5 minutes in, or about 4.5 minutes in, rather, and Illidan's still farming rather well. He's still got a Blades of Attack and boots, 20 last hits.
Yeah, he's doing fine.
Yeah, so...
It's not phenomenal, but
close game.
good enough.
Very close
I
game.
would say. Bottom lane, what's the status here of Sima the Slayer? He seems to be doing just fine against the Bat Rider. I think, barring any huge mess-ups, you really shouldn't die in this lane. Even with Lasso, unless you get a rotation, I don't think you can die. Time lapse is probably enough. Although he does not have enough mana, he does have 10 stick charges though, so he's doing a lot of harassment to Arsart. He seems to be playing this lane well, but both heroes are getting a pretty good amount as expected out of this lane.
Yeah, they're trading farm essentially.
Yeah.
There's a little bit less for Seema, but that's fine.
That's fine, yeah.
Arsart, though, with this farm, he can get a quick Blink Dagger, and he probably will as well. Like, maybe even 7 minutes if he continues to get this kind of farm. They're not rotating any heroes down. In fact, Aware looking for a gank here in the jungle, but looks like Jotum is going to spot this out.
Great Illuminate, jeez.
Man, that Fissure and Illuminate combo, like you talked about, the range on that, just difficult to deal with. Hakan really needs a Blink, but he's not even close to it at this point. Obviously, it's only 5 minutes in, so...
Maybe initiate on Illidan here. This is going to be really sketchy.
Sketchy. They need a Berserker's Call. Are they going to use... Wow!
Okay,
that Shadow Wave, man. Dear Lord, the Soul Catcher with the Shadow Wave? My God, that killed... Like, that killed him!
That was ridiculous.
That pretty much killed him. Holy crap. Wow.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage here.
We're going to look up the specifics of it.
Yeah, it looks like... It was a lot of damage.
Oh, we'll let you look around for that. Meanwhile, they're chasing after Ennis here in the top lane, the top jungle, and yeah, they're not going to find him. They're being aggressive now. They know their strengths here, and the Lycan has actually rotated to the jungle. He's trying to get an early Vlad's. There's the shapeshift coming through. Roger might get chased down. The Fissure. Just barely. Here comes the leak jumping in with a haste rune. The right click Hakan cannot Berserker's Call. The split, though, they want to fight on Illidan. Oh boy, Illidan, are you dead? That is his third death in the first 6 minutes. They're still chasing NS and Jotum. G has been regen back up at least to half health. They're diving under the tower. They don't want to do this. They need to back away now. Aware have found themselves a little niche timing here, and they are putting it to good use.
And this is great stuff. This is the opposite of what we saw in the previous game, with the Brewmaster kind of just seemed like he was just not really interested in using Primal Slit, not committing to team fights in low league, taking a much different approach. And at a quick glance there over the combat log, it looks like that nuke did like 400 damage or something, or 450. Some absurd.
Some ridiculous amount of damage.
I mean, Soul Catcher plus Healing Wave is just, that's insane, man. That's why this lane is just considered one of the best aggressive lanes. The pure damage potential, and then Berserker's Call just holding them there. It deals with everything, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly think that as soon as I saw that lane, I'm like, yeah, they're going to be okay.
Yeah, it's a really good aggressive lane, and they're doing a decent job getting their worth out of it, killing Illidan over and over again. I mean, it's 8 minutes here, and all he has is Phase Boots. That's
not good. I mean, it's not bad considering he's died a couple times. He's got 29 CS. He's got a way to get back into the game with Black Cannon, but...
Gyrocopter is not a bad hero to take these falls early, because you just get some lifesteal, someone stacks up some Ancients for him, he's back in it.
And arguably, he's right on target with where Seema is, because he's only gotten 34 last hits. The Bat Rider at 43. That's Blink Dagger's pretty much done, but guess what? So is Lolico's. Brewmaster has his right now. It's flying out to him. He'll get a regen rune. This is his time to shine. There is no split for 36 seconds, so he might wait on that initiation. The Wolves are going to try to follow him around. They've done a nice job keeping pace with that. G still has no Vlads here. He went for Boots first, so not the latest Vlads in the world, but still maybe not the best timing. 42 last hits, though. He should have it rather soon, and that's going to be solid.
Has it. A couple hundred gold away. Yeah. And we'll see how VP decide to move forward here. It's pretty sketchy for them to take Roche early without a huge fight beforehand, just because of the composition. I mean, Roshing into Panda Split is not exactly appealing.
No.
As well as Axe. You can kind of just jump it.
Yeah, that's scary. That's a little bit scary. I think they'll need a medallion. They'll need to pick off, like you mentioned, and they'll go from there.
It's really easy for Weaver to walk and steal it, too. So.
It's going to be really hard to get a pick, though. When you have Dazzle to deal with, when you have Shadow Demon to deal with, when you have Brewmaster to deal with, when you have Weaver to deal with, these are all not only defensive, but slippery and tough to deal with heroes in their own right. Like, Seema's just going to time-lapse. You've got Brewmaster ult if he's in trouble, and like defensive disruption. So there's a whole lot to deal with. There's going to be a wraparound gank coming on the backside now. Roger's looking for NS potentially. I don't know if they'll get anything. Meanwhile, top also the same thing happening. It looks like at least Hakan looking for something.
Bottom lane, they're diving fairly deep on NS though.
Yeah, he's going to get caught out of position. Lolic's going to jump in, clap, immediate death. Nice disruption there going on G. Roger's going to try to TP away and will make it out in time. Nice Drunken Haze just to make sure G doesn't do some excess damage there. Easy kill on NS getting caught out of position.
This is good early game play from Ware. Very solid.
Yeah.
And with this level of play, I'm a little surprised they're 0-3, but we'll see how they transition out of the laning stage. This is a really important part of the game for them. They have a Brewmaster. They have this really ultra early gank-oriented lineup with that top tri-lane, and they need to figure out a way to get the Weaver and the Brewmaster into this game and having a huge effect. Because if not, I mean, that little pick-off tree was great, but pretty soon heroes are going to get too tanky to get picked off from that combo. So
yeah,
they need to get Seema into this. They need to get Lolik into a couple more team fights. He's been doing a good job, but they need to figure out a way to deal with this Lycan split push, which is another huge issue.
Yeah. Oh, Fisher. Now the last one coming in. The call down. Roger in trouble. Berserker's call. Not doing much. They blow up the Shadow Demon with the right clicks as well as the Rocket Barrage. Leak chasing after Illidan. The Thunderclap's going to go. He's got enough mana for split. He will. Illidan, is he going to get rocked right now? He gets blown up by the Shadow Wave again. Brewmaster gets that kill there. Now they're chasing after Jotum. Will they dive for this? Do they have the Air Panda in range to use the Cyclone? In fact, they do. They just get it off. He's got to purge it here in just about a second and go for the kill with the rock. He'll throw the rock. Jotum now Lalik out of mana. Can't clap. He's going to try to bottle up. There's the Berserker call and the dunk. Oh, Hakan going in already. That provides him 100 gold away from his Blink Dagger. They got one kill out of that. That was Roger on the Shadow Demon dying. And they are looking solid.
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about mostly here is the Lycan progressing into the further parts of the game. DC, we will have a pause here. God needs to do something, needs to just have a huge impact on this game. He's building a medallion, so he's going to be going for Roshan pretty much as quickly as allows. And he needs to do that. He needs to get his team in the gold. He needs to get the experience for his team. And then he really needs to start pushing down these towers and getting his team back into it via gold.
Yeah, honestly, the Lycan he's got split pushing prowess, I think, and he needs to start using it for the most part. He needs like maybe a Necro to do that, but
yeah. I mean, he can push by himself. The Necro definitely helps.
Yeah, I mean, like until that happens, they're not really creating space for him. That's the problem. They are by dying, but that's not.
That's not.
What
I mean,
you
creating
want.
space is as much as you say space created, you don't want to feed 7-0.
Well,
So.
I don't know. The lasso is a good start for them, but one kill on a Shadow Demon does not equal a salvage game after you get caught in a position and you lose two heroes by a dive top from the Primal Split. So, Lalik backs off now. Blink Dagger now done for the Axe. 11 minutes in. They're looking solid. They have like 1,000 gold lead or 500 or something like that. Actually, almost 1,000, tapering off at 750.
A little less than I thought it would be.
Yeah, honestly, and I think the issue is they don't really have any towers, and they lost their mid-tier 1 tower to Virtus Pro, so that's the problem, really. But right now, I think Illidan at least is farming up. He's got his Helm of Iron Will. He's got his Phase Bits on top of that. There's a Wraith Band now in the Gyrocopter. He's decently farmed for where he is. I mean, for what he had to deal with. 47 CS, but Seema the Slayer has found a lot of farm in the absence of that Shadow, or not Shadow, but rather Bat Rider.
BKB first?
Yeah, I like this a lot, actually.
Yeah, I think it's a decent play here.
Yeah, this is really smart coming out for Aware. I feel like, because, well, the problem with this, though, is that you have to deal with Lasso, though, and Lincoln's is so good against it. In fact, Arsart, speaking of Lasso, he's here with an Invis Rune. Does he have the backup? There is a Keep of the Light not too far by. Jotum's there as well with Fisher, but Seema, he's just walking around. He's going to Shikuchi. Arsart's still ready to go with that Blink Lasso. They still know he's around. Aware pings it out, so he knows something's going down right now. They're going to back off and say that's enough of that, and Seema will avoid a gank altogether.
Yeah, you have to be careful. I mean, that close to the tier 1, a lot of TP reactions are a possibility.
Absolutely so. Losing my voice.
It's okay. Aware, they're going to push in on this top tower with that very stylish Shadow Flame set. God, that thing is sweet. And, I don't know, man. I'm a little worried about Aware bringing this into the later parts of the game, to be honest.
Well, they know that this is happening right now. They know this Roshan is being attempted.
Bugs are floating into Rosh.
You hate to see that. Like it's not going to get a free Roshan here. In fact, they're going to lose a tier 1 tower because of it. Now the question is, what do you do if you're if you're VP?
You need to try to take a fight. I don't know. It's going to be really hard though because of Panda split. Trying to burst down Panda is extremely dangerous.
If you last one, maybe.
Uh-oh. Well, Illidan. This does not look good. Call down coming in. Is this going to be enough? No, he is going to go down. Dunked. Great job by Axe.
And they're still going, man. NS, wow, he takes so much damage from that primal split. He's done. Jotum getting caught out. He's been weaved as well, so he takes a lot of right-click damage. Oh my god, they are just melting here. They're diving past tier 2 towers. Back up, guys. Double kill for Seema going in deep. Gets the Bat Rider, 4 for nothing.
Okay, Roche out of it, but
he got his
that
ages.
is a lot to pay for a Roche, and they lost 4 heroes and 2 towers.
Well, I don't know if that's worth it.
It's a lot to pay for a Roche.
I don't think it's worth it.
I would argue. I would say probably.
That's definitely not worth
There
it.
might be an argument to be made to say it is, but the gold graph shows you. I mean, it's a huge upswing. It's a huge momentum swing. Gold lost on all those heroes. They really need to get a good initiation here with Arsark, but the problem is that initiating on back. Oh wow, they're wrapping around. Jottam, he's taking so much damage. Can he even get a Fisher off? No, he's dunked. NS, a double dunk for Zakao. He's gonna get Illidan as well, and this is just a disaster for VP.
Lycan is like, I'm not coming to any of these fights
this is the problem with Lycan is he just doesn't contribute that much to these early game team fights, and against Brewmaster, it's not nearly as good. Axe getting dragged back. Do they even have enough damage to kill him?
Wow,
nope.
that lasso was underwhelming.
That was underwhelming.
That did nothing, actually. It was just Arsart there. He's dead for that now. They're going to Berserker's call him. Arsart's about to get dunked here. Yep, there it is. All right. Mega kill streak for Axe right now. 1,500 gold in the bank. Guess what? He's rushing Ags. He does not give a single damn about BKB, about like a Blade Mail, like a Vanguard. He wants an Ags and he wants it now. And let me tell you, things that we can get down with.
Ags on the Axe is definitely one of them.
Yes, check that off on your list. So
Helm the Dominator done for Illidan, but this is just taking too long for VP.
He's got nothing other
This
than
is
that.
this is the reason that a lot of these heroes fell out of favor. I mean, Lycan has not been picked nearly as much in this new patch, partly because of Brewmaster and the pressure he brings in the early game. They even have this Weaver who's been farming decently, going for a BKB, almost done, and that's only like, it's going to be done at 17 minutes or so. So, I don't know, man. This looks pretty bad for VP. They need this game to go on much longer, and I'm not sure it's going to.
I feel like this gold graph doesn't even begin to tell the
way
story
worse than that.
of how bad this game is going.
Their map control is very minimal. They only have tier 2s. If they lose that tier 2 bottom, Roche is going to be really hard for them to control. And if Aware get a Roche, this game is just over.
The thing I worry about the most, though, actually, is Aware's like how they need to start taking towers and more than just fights here. They need to take objectives.
They've gotten 3.
That's fair, but like they could have taken tier 2 bottom.
that mid tier 1 is still alive.
It's mid tier 1's still alive.
They're gonna get
Tier 2 bottom is still alive, and they didn't put any damage onto it when they were there for 2 or so minutes. They didn't touch it. G's taking top tower, which I don't know if they should just let this go. In fact, they're going to forward it, but there's only one hero coming up there. It's going to be the Axe, but there's a Bat Rider ready to go. This could be bad. G gets Berserker's call. He's going to use his shapeshift. He has the Aegis, remember that. Leek's going to use the Thunderclap. There's the last one, Hakan. It's going to bring him back. The blink from the Leek is going to try to find G. He might go down, but in the meantime, Axe is perched up on the high ground, unfortunately. TP away coming out from G. Now, Lycan, that's creating space.
Oh, mid lane, Seam of the Slayer takes down NS. Time lapse back. Coddle did get the deny on the tower. I guess that's one small consolation for his life, but is going to go down there to Seema. Now has the BKB finished up and continuing the pressure. Eats a Fisher. A lot of this also is going to come down to the Earthshaker initiations, and a huge problem is that Jottam is not even in the realm of a Blink Dagger.
He just got level 6. Like, he just got it. Just now.
He is way far behind. These supports are under-leveled. Jottam, he really needs to have a huge impact on these pushes. Otherwise, Aware are just going to be able to do whatever they want. So, without that Blink Dagger, this is certainly a lot harder. And there's no blinks on anyone except for AA.
Getting caught out. Berserker's Call is going to go. Is there a dunk? There it is. The Aegis being used, expended even. Cooldown's going to fly. It's going to miss on everybody. Illidan, that's not your best work, my friend. He's still chasing. There's the Demonic Purge. Weaver gets the kill in the bat round on the backside. Seema, he's got time lapse. He's not using it. The sentry on the ground. Now the shapeshift being popped as well. Seema, you are... I think you're dead, my friend. Time lapse. Nicely done. I thought he might go down there. That Fisher stun. The sentry ward's still going. Shikuchi, he buys a BKB. He BKBs. He's going to TP. He's not going to make it out. A bit of a waste. That's not good. That's 692 gold also going for Illidan, by the way. He couldn't run. He didn't have his Shikuchi up. He would have died, I think.
Oh, he didn't have Shikuchi. Yeah, that's true. Well, a little bit of a rough thing there, but I mean, 17th too still for Aware. VP get their second kill, and we're saying it's bad for Aware, but I mean, this could be the start of a very, very long comeback for VP. Illidan now, with that Helm of the Dominator, with the Yasha, can farm pretty efficiently and basically just hope to God that he has enough room. He needs time.
He
And
needs a lot
it just
of
comes
time.
down to if Aware are going to give it to them, and if God can make it for him. God needs to continue pressuring these lanes. Otherwise, they're just going to get pressured by Aware. Aware are going to take Roshan and just end the game.
It was like Relax also. I mean, like, they had a close game against Virtus Pro and sort of a similar situation with Illidan getting caught out and not having much farm early on in the game, but he was able to get back into it. Obviously, it wasn't just him that helped out, but Hakan gonna get called down right now, taking a bit of damage here.
Just be careful. He's
Yeah,
not that tanky.
TPs. He's got Berserker's Call if he needs it. He's going to use it on the Wolves. They're going to grave a bit early right now. Fisher's going to come out as well. Lalik, blink forward, clap, going to go through. Illidan TPing out. Nice disruption. We'll cancel it. And Illidan should fall yet again. They're still chasing after other heroes. They're trying to find Jada, but he gets out just in time. Illidan will fall. That'll be Axe getting the kill. I don't think he Calling Bladed there. Looks like no. He's very close to getting his Aghanim Scepter, though. He's about 300 gold away. And this may be a tier 2 tower for Aware if they want.
Great move here by Roger. He knows that the Ancients are really the only way back into this. For Illidan, he drops on a Sentry Ward. This is a pretty big deal. They're going to also take a tier 2 here. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Stress
He's
ate that
too
entire
aggressive,
eliminate.
I think.
Jesus. Dazzle cannot stand in the front like that. That's like Lalik's job. Go tank that ability. And well, looks like they're not going to get the tier 2 because of it. I think, given the BKB here for Seema, I'd really like to see a Desolator.
Desolator, I think, would be really nice. I think just the armor reduction of the towers making it a little bit easier to push. They need a pipe as well, I think, for the Illuminate at some point. I think Hakan has to maybe build that, and that's going to be a huge item to try to take down objectives. Because right now, like, that's the only thing stopping them from taking the tier 2 towers. It is the Illuminate, and to a certain extent Fisher as well, but like it's just Illuminate for the most part. So
Fisher sets it up, but it's the Illuminate.
Yeah, and then G's going to keep split pushing top. I mean, he's got a Necro 1, which is obviously not that great of an item, but you get Necro 2 and 3 up, and all of a sudden you're worrying about getting your bases just taken down in the matter of a blink of an eye. So for Aware, they've got to start being a little bit more precautious here and maybe a bit more aggressive when it comes to tower taking. There is the Aghanim Scepter now done for the Axe. That's great. I love that item, but this is one of the few situations where I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe go for a pipe first or a casual cloak or anything just to help out your magic
Cloak
resistance.
Pretty good.
So
Maybe you should get a cloak. I can get down with that. Building into a pipe probably makes sense here. I think I can get down with that. I can't really think of another item that would be better. I mean, I guess he could get a mech, but mana is kind of rough for an Axe with eggs. I mean, he only has 722, and Call and 2 blades is like is like half his HP, his mana pool rather. So I don't know. Pipe seems really good though. I think pipe would be.
well, what are the other alternatives for an Axe here if you don't go for a Pipe of Insight?
You could get like an aura item, like an AC or something.
You can also go for a Blade Mail. You could go for a Vanguard, which
Blade
would be
Mail
the
seems
dumbest
pretty
thing
good.
in the world.
I think a Vanguard would be pretty bad.
I'm just thinking right now. You can
Blade
go
Mail would be
Maelstrom
pretty good,
Mjolnir, but maybe someone else goes that item.
Popping Blade Mail and Illuminate.
Yeah, that would be. That's actually the
That's
dream.
pretty bad for
That's the dream.
NS. That's half his HP gone.
Yeah, I think that's probably. I think
That could be good. I would be totally okay with Piper.
I think Blade Mail or Pipe are the
Yeah.
two things you probably go next year. I mean, you already have your Aghanim Scepter. Speaking of Ags, Liliko
that's great news.
just picks his up, and he's level 12 as well. So it's level 2 Brewmaster Panda split, which is 2 seconds longer in duration. 19 is the dream at level 3, but right now, they're pushing the pace of this game for the most part, but they only have a 4,000 gold lead, which is surprising. 5,000 experience lead, man.
Jesus.
That Illuminate.
They
though.
can have I don't know, man.
They
just
have to
walking
dive
into it.
They needed to dive behind this tower and kill NS.
They know it's there.
Yeah, there he goes. Khan's just gonna run right at him. But the ultimate Illuminate allows him to charge from pretty much not the front lines. They really want this tower. It's not really taking
need
that
to
much
get it.
damage.
All right, they're doing a good job now. They're zoning him out. They know that that's the only thing keeping them from pushing this. They just keep a support back here. He knows if he gets disrupted, he's probably dead with all the blink daggers.
Fisher.
Good Fisher. Flame break as well pushes them back. Small Illuminate coming through. It looks
They're
like they
gonna take
are
this
going to
tower.
secure the tower.
Yeah, but
finally.
that took so much effort and work
Jesus.
coming out for Aware just to get that
Oh
tower.
God, are they going to loop right into?
They're going to know what's up. They're going to send at least one person in there. Please send one person in there. There we go. Nicely done, the league. They're going to run right into Roshan. They know what's up. Virtus Pro are going to head over there as well. They're going to say, listen, we want to defend this if it's available. Aware are going to back off right now.
They probably smoke into it, I think. Aware.
Maybe. I think they need to make
They
sure.
smoked up.
They need to make sure. Well, they're going to try to get a pick off first and foremost, and they're not going to find anything. They're running into wolves right
it's a lot
now.
of volleyball.
I don't know if they are going to ping that out. It's not going to matter if they do. Lolique.
Where are they going?
They're looking at top right now, and they thought the Lycan might be there, but guess where he is? He's in the Roche pit. I don't think you need...
They get this Roche. So this could be good for VP.
Yeah, this is...
They're still massively down in kills, but if you actually look at the gold lead, it's not that much. Even XP is only 5,000.
This is going to give Virtus Pro a lot, actually. This is not what you want to give Lycan. And he's got Necro 2 now, almost Necro 3 on top of that. That was not a good time to smoke for Aware. I think they should have stayed around the Roche pit. I think they should have fought
it's
there.
up, and you know there's a Lycan.
They're not going to
He's
fight
gonna go
into you,
for
right?
it.
They're not going to fight into your Primal Split. They're not going to fight into Berserker's Call. They're not going to fight into your Shadow Wave. They're not going to fight into your whatever you've got on your team. I don't know if that's the best idea. Illuminate might deal some damage, but Shadow Wave and Mech through it if you have a Mech, that is. It looks like they don't. But,
Dazzle.
Yeah, Dazzle needs to go one. He's got a 4-staff right now. But, I mean, he's actually going BKB next, I think. That's Necro 3 done. They're going to try to take down this top or middle tier 2 tower for Aware. But now that there is this Aegis up on Lycan, he can start participating at least a little bit in team fights. He's got a Necro 3 down bottom. Virtus Pro looking to take their last tier 1 tower, as this is the last one up for Aware. So, like, they're trading towers when they really don't need to. This is the issue, I think, for Aware.
This seems to be the issue for Aware, is it's not play, it's just their decision making is really a little bizarre. Like, that smoke made no sense.
Their plays, I think,
like, I could have understood
pretty good
if they went like this, but this just makes no sense.
What is that, actually? Like, what does that accomplish?
Yeah, like, if there's a Lycan, he's just going to go in here and TP. Why would he... I don't know.
I agree with you. I feel like, and that's some of the differences between the top teams.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what differentiates them. They've had a really good job.
We talk about it so often, like with LGD with the CIS game not too long ago, about 2 nights ago, where we talked about how LGD are so good about taking towers and not losing their own. And it was almost the same exact thing for Coast when they played against Virtus Pro and they took them down. This time now, Aware are giving options for Virtus Pro to get back into this game. Virtus Pro have been around long enough to know when they can get back in the game and with what heroes they can do so. I mean, you look at the net worth chart, G is right up there. Gyrocopter's behind, but he's not in a position where he's super far behind. So now it looks like Aware are losing their window of opportunity where they had such a huge advantage. In fact, that is now a Blink Dagger done on Jotum just by sitting there and getting 18 CS in the total game, 2 assists. He has a Blink Dagger. That's it. Yeah. And it's, yes, there's no ward coverage really on the map, but like if you're not going to be pressuring with Aware, what are you doing? You're not shutting anybody down. So now it's kind of like...
Need to do, that's really bad. Like, the Earthshaker is a huge component to the initiation and the defense for VP. And having a Blink Dagger, setting up that Echo Slam and Chant Totem Fisher combo is just brutal.
Now you're kind of like, if you're an Aware fan, or if you're even Aware in general, you're kind of just like, you're looking over your shoulder a lot, and you're like thinking, okay, how safe is this game really? And we're making a big deal about it.
It looks really good when you look at the scoreboard, but they're still barely up in gold. Like, that's just not okay.
There were times in that Coast game, and this is a game where they had 2 kills at about like 40 minutes in, where it looked like maybe Virtus Pro could come back with a huge team fight, and they got very close. But
if you're going to VP take a big team fight, this game is easily in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, one big team fight gives them room to not only maybe get map control, get their jungle going, and then maybe even Roshan on the back side of it.
Yeah, it is a Deso for SEMA, so I like this pickup. We both talked about it.
Yeah, that's fine. Lasso's still going to be an issue.
Force is done now for Arsart as well, and he almost has a BKB.
BKB is done for Illidan
really
too.
Bad.
Yeah.
They have this really aggressive lineup. What the hell have they been doing for the last 3 minutes? It feels like they haven't been doing anything.
They've been smoking in random locations. They're getting items at the very least, and now is the time for them to pressure. They're not fighting with an Aegis, so this is a bit sketchy, I think, at the very best.
Echo Slam used on SEMA.
Oh, and they used the Lasso as well. That's a huge pick-off. He can buy back in time-lapse in if he wants to.
It's too late now.
I don't think he's going to. Now they have to defend bottom, too. SEMA did not need to be there. That's really bad. They were getting ready for a push top, and he did not need to be there.
Jesus.
That just bought so much time for Virtus Pro. That one Lasso Echo Slam initiation, I believe, yeah, it was Echo, coming out for Virtus Pro. And that's huge, because not only does that give time to the Lycan, but it gives time to Illidan as well, who's farming up a BKB, which he already has.
Look at this.
He's farming up his Yasha, maybe into a Manta style.
This is ridiculous. Why? I don't understand why Aware are giving them this much room. You have a Brewmaster. He has an Aghanims. Dive the tower.
Yeah, they needed to finish this game, and they need to finish about 5 minutes
Their
ago.
time is, they're almost
well,
out
the
of
thing,
time
all right,
here.
the thing, it's not over yet, obviously, and the league and the rest of the guys, they're getting together, they're purchasing up an Ultimate Orb, which will probably be Scythe for Brewmaster. We've seen this so often, so
Yeah, I think so.
one death to the Weaver is not the end of the world for them, but it's certainly
The
it's
bigger
a sign
issue,
of
though,
bad
is, like,
things.
look at this. Blink, BKB, Yasha, Necro 3, he hasn't really gotten much else since then. Force on the Coddle, and Blink, BKB, Force Staff on the Bat Rider. When your initiators are this farmed, they have
That's
it.
an
When your
issue.
initiators basically have everything they need for a perfect initiation, for Bat Rider, that's the Blink, Force, BKB, and for Earthshaker, that's just the Blink. It doesn't really matter how behind you are in gold. If you get a perfect initiation, you're probably going to win the fight.
Yeah, and now it really comes down to positioning for Aware. The fish is going to come out, but that's just going to push them back for a moment. TP down bottom coming in from Liko. They're going to try to defend this tower. It's in deny
Aware
range.
being on the back foot right now is just awful. Like,
Yeah,
they really need to be pressuring. They need to force their way back into this.
Rogers, I think
This
dead.
is not the way to do that.
Rogers
oh,
dead.
God.
Okay, well, Hakan's going to go in. Berserker's called. Nice Grave coming through Illidan. He's going to have to pop the BKB. Hakan getting low. He's going to fall. The Rocket Barrage doing too much damage there. He was the only one around, even with that Blade Mill up. They didn't even care. Yes, Roger, they were trying to save his life, but he went down as well. Now this is their time to shine. Virtus Pro, they're going to run straight down mid. They're going to look for a tier 2 tower potentially. And they'll back off right now, but Axe down for 33 seconds. His buyback, I'm sure, is available. Not that it really matters. No, it's not, actually. He's down 4 bit. He doesn't have the gold for it. They're going to head over to Roche. There's no Roche available, obviously. It still has the age on the Lycan, at least. No, it just actually went away. 3,000 gold in the bank for this Lycan. His next item might be a BKB, could be a Basher, and to that Abyssal Blade, which would be fine.
Jeez, man.
This
I can't
is not
believe that
looking
Aware
good.
gave them this much room.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not over,
They
but
played so well in lane, and now they're
look at the experience graph. I haven't looked at the gold graph yet, but
Jesus.
that's 0. Experience is dipping. Gold is almost back to even right now for Aware Gaming. I wouldn't call this a throw because it's only a
It's not a
4,000
throw,
gold
but
lead.
It's just like a huge lack of execution here. Like, you have a huge kill lead. You really need to pressure that. Early game kills, because of the low levels of the heroes, don't give you a lot of gold or XP. There's no kill streak gold. You don't really convert. I mean, they did an okay job of converting that into towers. There's no outer towers left, but when they I don't think Brewmaster's Primal Split once since he's gotten this Ags.
No, he hasn't, actually. That's a good point. They have not been
What's
aggressive.
the point of getting an Ags if you're not going to Primal
Well,
Split?
to be fair, though, Virtus Pro have a very good turtling lineup, which we've seen to a great deal. The thing is also, they've also lost all of their tier 2 towers. So if Virtus Pro lose a fight, they might lose tier 3 in Rax. So again, it comes down to now initiation and execution for Aware. Virtus Pro, they've got the veterans on their squad. They know what to do in this situation. They've been there before. It just comes down to them being aware of what, well, no pun intended, of what they need to do, and going from there.
And it seems like they're not, honestly. Like, they might know what they need to do, but they're just not doing it. Like, they have all the tools. They have a farmed Weaver. He has a freaking Reaver. Like, what? Just go. Push.
They're going to go now. This is their time. They're going to try to go for this bottom.
Is it too late, though? I mean, there's all these BKBs up now. It's like...
Well, I guess we're going to
your
find
axe
out
doesn't
here.
really do anything anymore.
This is going to be the fight. At least, Aware might back off, but if they back off here, then I feel like they're almost conceding it. At least the next maybe
Get
couple
rich
of
or die
minutes.
trying.
They
Here we
might
go.
try to go for the late game. I don't know if that's the best option against the Gyrocopter. We'll see. Fisher's going to block them out. Seema's going to back off the Shikuchi. They're going to avoid the creep Illuminate, but still, that's... Blink forward. There they go. The league going in. There's going to be the Primal Split. Illidan, BKB, and Calldown's going to go as well. Seema's going to try to fight this against Illidan. Blaster coming in on the backside. That's going to be on somebody. It's going to be the Dazzle. He falls. Hakan looking to go hard. NS about to drop down. He's down for 43 seconds. No, he's got a buyback. Where is everyone else? Seema trying to put damage on the tower. It might have been too late. On the backside, Arsart still doing work. They've lost 2 now for Aware. Double kill for Arsart. Lolik, his split is down. There's going to be a fortification already. They're at the base. Virtus Pro, the tier 3 tower now, taking damage for Aware Gaming. They might have to go back home and defend. And they don't get anything done with this fight. They barely put any damage onto the tower.
They needed to do this 10 minutes ago when they had the Ags. Like, as soon as you get Ags on Brewmaster, that's like green lights. Like, okay, we are farmed. Let's go. You get the Ags on Axe, you get the Ags on Brewmaster. Those are not farming items. Those are fighting items.
Yes.
So you need to use the strength through items to your advantage, and they just didn't do that. And this is what I was talking about at around 10 minutes, coming out of the laning stage, how do you get these heroes into the game? And they didn't. Like, Lolique got a couple solo pickoffs, or, pickoffs or whatever, but pickoffs at 10 minutes and pickoffs at 30 minutes, you need to push the base. Like, you need to break a Rax. You need to create room for Roche. They haven't gotten a single Roshan. A VP are just, they know how they need to execute this game, and, they might have had a huge disadvantage out of the laning phase, but Aware just gave them way too much room. Now there's an Eagle Song on Illidan. AC for Jesus. AC on the Lycan. This is just the net worth now. 2 Dire heroes in front.
Yeah, and the gold graph probably tells the story as well. Yeah, already down to 2,000 in favor of VP, so...
This just hurts to watch, man.
It's not over yet. Aware still have a shot at this. They just need one
you're
decent
right.
fight.
If they win a fight, like, they have a Deso and Weaver, they can easily kill buildings.
Roche is almost up, too.
Fighting has just been not working for them. This is a long Roche.
I still feel like a Piper or something could have been useful up against the Illuminate of the Coddle, but it's a bit too late for that, at least right now.
It's not even the item choices. It's just been the way they executed it post 10 minutes.
It's been rough. So, 34 minutes in, where they're in a bit of a pickle here, I'd say at the very least. Virtus Pro are looking to convert their disadvantage to an advantage, which they've done a really good job ever since that disastrous landing phase. Illidan has got a ton of farm. He's up to a Yasha, he's up to a BKB, he's up to almost a Butterfly, almost a full Butterfly now, just maybe about 1,000 gold away. Shadow Demon will purchase up a Ghost Scepter, but he's got nothing else. He's been warding. Shadow Demon has the lowest net worth in the game. Roger not converting any of his kills or assists into gold, unfortunately, or at least into items. Virtus Pro are posturing for Roshan now. This could be where a big fight breaks out. And
Lincolns for the league. Jesus.
Yeah, and that's actually huge against, I think, the Batrider, and I talked about it a bit earlier. That's a nice item choice. The last was going to be huge. Arsart has been finding pickoffs left and right. They're still waiting around Roche. This should be where the next fight happens. And if it goes poorly for either squad, we could see a potential either set of buybacks or even, at the very most, an all-out GG. Sima's going to get caught out the lasso. That was the perfect time for it. The Enchant Totem, he needs to time-lapse now. It's not going to happen. Does he have buyback? Absolutely not. This is Virtus Pro's Roche. That wasn't even a fight. That was a slaughter. That was an execution.
That was just... Now they're just going to lose Roche for free, like...
Again, by the way, this is cheese.
Christ.
And in case you're wondering, so Illidan's going to grab cheese. He's going to sell his Wraith Band, pick up the cheese. He'll have his Talisman of Evasion if he wants it.
Butterfly in a couple of minutes here.
Yeah, and now this is... You're in dire straits. If Sima, he's got no buyback. He's down for 42 seconds.
And the minute that Lincoln's is off him, he gets lasso. This is just, well, this is not good for Aware.
They're not in a really solid position. I mean, look at the ward, too. This is ultra defensive. They can't even put a ward here on this side of the map, which is challenging. That's like, excellent. Thank you, Volvo, please.
I don't know, man. This just feels like a complete failure of execution for Aware.
There's no glyph either.
They had such a good laning phase.
It's not over. I'm going to keep saying that. You're going to keep getting positive and more positive. They'll lose a tier 3 tower. Virtus Pro are going to back off. They'll rotate top to get this last tier 2 tower. Virtus Pro, they're not out of the woods. They have...
VP just seems so confident at this point.
They do. They've got a 4,000 gold lead. They've got 5,500 experience lead. What, who cares if they swagger? It doesn't matter.
You're Aware at this point need to get a pick off on a crucial hero and then transition that immediately. Hopefully he doesn't have buyback and immediately get Rex. If that happens, they're back in this. Things can go a little bit better for them.
Yeah, that's...
But the heroes without buyback are quite limited. Killing the Coddle doesn't exactly matter. They need to kill either Illidan, God, or maybe the Earthshaker, or maybe Arsart, but, like, I don't know. This is going to be really hard.
Yeah, and
they're
even if they kill Coddle, he'll have buyback in a minute, so by that time, he's going to have buyback. I think Illuminate's kind of a big deal, but...
It's a big deal, but it's not the reason they're winning this fight.
Lasso on Sima. The call down going to go. Do they have the damage? The Echo Slam time lapse might be there. It's not. He's done.
And that VPS had perfect executions in these fights against Weaver too. Like, you know how fast he can time lapse.
Yeah.
They have just not given him any time at all to even consider
Echo
it.
Slam, Enchant, Fisher, Rocket Barrage damage,
Flame
Break if you need it, Lasso, which they've needed consistently. They're diving. They're going straight for this range rash. They're going to be a fortification, but this actually might be it for Aware. G going to take some damage. He's going to have to shapeshift away. He has that up in 40 seconds. He also has his Aegis still going. The Yule Scepter now up for this Earthshaker. What a farmed hero this support Earthshaker has become.
Axe chop the creep.
You know, that's a little bit unfortunate. I guess you might want to have
Fine,
that.
since his axe gives him a buff.
Yeah, the
Sweet.
buff is nice to have.
Disruption, but at this point, not that big of a deal.
They're gonna
God
fight.
has the Aegis. Illidan, he's going in. Zakao trying to make a stand here. There's the chop. Down goes the Aegis. Illidan trying to make it out of here now. Has to pop the regen, and, well, they still look to be in a good position. The split, Illidan taking a lot of damage again.
This primal split's doing work. Illidan might fall here. He can't afford to die right now. He doesn't have to wait for that buyback. Oh, Panda's done, but there comes the Thunderclap. Lolique getting the kill. They are turning it around finally. This is what they needed. This was a 4 versus 5 fight. Nice chop, and the Grave on top of it. Stress gets mana leaked, but now Virtus Pro have to back off. G getting body blocked. He has his shape shifted. Still going now. About to run out here in just a couple of seconds. Lolique gonna continue the chase. The Blink Dagger up in 2 seconds. Seema with the right clicks coming out as well with that Desolator. Blink forward. There's the clap. G getting caught out. It's gonna be 4 dead. Plus the Aegis. It's 5 total. When we're all said and done here, buyback. It is available for everyone except the Earthshaker, who is already alive. And now we're going to look to at least force a couple of buybacks here. Really good fight. They're turning it around.
Be really careful here, though. If they overcommit and mass buybacks and they just get slaughtered, it could be really
this
bad.
This game is all over the damn place.
Yeah,
Fisher block.
This is some. Seema trying to put damage out here. It seems like they're not that scared at this point.
No, they're this
No
is
buybacks.
This is what they were lacking earlier in the game. This kind of brass. Blink forward, the Leak, Thunderclap, NS, 4-staff away. Fisher blocks him there, misses on the damage. Actually, Lincoln Sphere prevented it. Right click damage. There's the mana leak still going. It's about to run out, however. He needs to get some sort of mana regen going through. He'll get Shadow Wave to regen up his health. The Weave defensively now on a couple of heroes. The Calldown's going to fly. Tier 3 tower is going to fall. Big Echo Slam. The Fisher onto 2 as well. Now the Lasso onto Hakan. Going in. The Brewmaster ult is going to fly. Do they have the damage here? Illidan forced to use the flat cannon. Hakan getting low. BKB up now on Arsart. There are 3 dead for Virtus Pro. 1 buyback. Lycan is still dead. Illidan getting caught out. Still going down low. The Earth Panda running away. The Shadow Wave. Roger says, listen, I'm getting out of here. The 4-step away. What a play from Stress to get him out of that bad situation. The Flame Break. Arsart still chasing. No lasso available. Lolique without the split. Can't do much. The TP, the Grave away as well. Lolique will survive. The Dazzle, not so lucky, but
They didn't get their axe, though.
that was a really solid fight, though. That's got to inspire confidence if you're aware. Like, that was a really solid fight. They're not done. They are not dead. They said, we're going to try to turn this back around. We're going to flip everything back, right side up, and see what we could do with it.
And smart, I have to say, smart play by VP. They knew that their Raxes weren't actually taking damage yet. They saved the buyback on God. He knows that if he just waits, he can go in, and then if he dies and things get really bad, then he will have buyback again. You really don't want to buy back with like 10 seconds left on respawn if you can help it at all. So, good play there by VP, and they're just showing that they're very seasoned here. Aware, though, showing some signs of life. This is what they need to do. They need to take fights like this.
Yeah.
Zakao has done a decent job with initiations here. He's got a lot of HP, so he can tank up a lot of that damage.
He's going hard,
Talisman of Evasion.
He's going to buy Heart.
For Lolique, I like that as well.
Heart's going to come out for 2 heroes unaware. 1 for Hakan, 1 for Seema the Slayer. And
Illidan needs a damage item now.
Yeah.
I mean, Butterfly is a damage item, but he needs, like, a big damage item. Like, he needs, like, an MKB or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's feeling pretty good, but yeah, like an MKB is going to be nice, especially if that Weaver ever gets a Butterfly, which who knows if he will or not.
Yeah, I mean, there's also Evasion of
I mean, like, Daedalus would be nice, would be good. Yeah, that Drunken Haze is going to be kind of important, so MKB is probably your choice here. 2 birds with 1 stone, essentially. Illidan has got 2,700 gold in the bank. Some of that's going to be safe for buyback. Somebody just bought an item. It looks like G just bought something outright.
I think he already had the AC.
No, he didn't have the BKB beforehand, so he just bought that.
Yeah.
So BKB now for Lycan, who that's going to be a very big item. Again, Aware just farming away. This, I think, favors Virtus Pro a bit more, but look at where Jotum is right now.
He's ready to go.
But he's alone, though.
He can't
even. I mean, against Weaver, who now is Heart of Trask, he's not dying. He is not going down at all. So now again, it comes down to Aware and their play, their positioning. What do they do next? I like the fact that Virtus Pro are split pushing. They're pushing out top. Jotum's here in the trees, which they've spotted him. He's going to TP away now, and he's actually going to make it out alive. That was really close for him. That was dangerous. That was a dangerous position to be in, but he makes it out. They'll TP top. So now you deal with one lane, you gotta go deal with the other lane, all over the map. They're running around in circles here.
Yeah, this is, again, lack of decisive movement. I mean, I'm not surprised to see it after what happened around the 20-minute mark, but this is not the way that you win these games.
No. I mean, and this could be one of the longer ones. This is
Yeah, this is probably one of the longest games already of these playoffs. We've had like 25-minute games.
We talked about Chinese qualifiers. They were like an average of like some ridiculous times, like
57 minutes or 49 minutes, I think, or something.
This was ridiculous when you think about it. And then for these games, I haven't seen one that's been over 40 all day, and this is the first one, in fact. So,
Let's see.
I mean, yeah, Hakan now. I feel like he's
You gotta favor the team with the gyro in this late game, though.
Yeah,
the gyro's so good.
You do, but I don't know. I just think Aware have the potential. The BKB charges
absolutely.
are really important. Everything's very important, I feel like, right now. We'll see. I don't know. There's a lot of physical damage now coming up for Aware. The only real issue is that this Brewmaster Ultimate is going to start being sort of useless with all of these BKBs now used. So
Yeah, it gets worse and worse as time goes on here, and then it gets a little bit better in the ultra late game as long as you're not buying new BKBs. But this is definitely when Brewmaster starts to perform.
Brewmaster, or rather, Gyrocopter's top in the net worth charts, followed by G. On that Lycan, followed by the Weaver, followed by the Brewmaster. If we look at the gold graph here, well, that's experience, actually. 4,000 experience lead for Virtus Pro, that's pretty negligible. Gold graph's about 5,000, also sort of negligible at 45 minutes in. Seems like this game has flown by.
Neither team are really taking action here, and I definitely think that favors VP.
Continuing to just get space, more space, Aware just giving them room to breathe, giving them room to create options for themselves. And you know, this is when I get sad.
For why?
Sad for Aware, because I mean, this game should have been easily theirs.
Yeah,
They're up 18 kills to 2 at like 12 minutes or something, and then they just are not really able to press their advantage at all because they refuse to dive the base when they have a Brewmaster. I don't know. Because I mean, obviously the issue is the Coddle, right? Like the issue is that they can't really push into the Coddle, they can't really push in to Illidan, and Earthshaker gets these great initiations because they wait for him to have a Blink Dagger. But they had Blink Ags at like 22 minutes or something on the leak. You just YOLO. Like your team's not really built for the late game. You have a Weaver, sure, but they have a Gyrocopter and a Lycan, and Arsar is just getting perfect initiations on you every single time.
Yeah, and the good thing though for Aware is they've gotten an Aegis down in SEMA, which
That's just, I mean, they
might
need
be able to
to
clean
go
up
with
these
this
fights.
though. Like they need to take a huge fight now.
And also, buyback is not available for the Lycan for about 200 gold here, so if they can find that time... Oh, Arsar might get caught out. Disruption came through. There's going to be a dead actual Jotum there. With no buyback on him, that's the opening they were looking for. G will take down a tier 2 tower top. That's fine. He'll make his way out. They'll try to defend top and then maybe go for... push in either pretty much any lane. There's no outer tower they need to go for. It really just depends on what they want to do here.
Yeah, I don't know. VP's doing a really good job here of just continuing to push in these lanes, trying to make it really hard for Aware to move out of the base at this point, and that's definitely the right move. And the range barracks just died.
That's been unfortunate. I don't know where that came from. I don't know how it happened, but it just died. That's not
Freaks.
good. I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing. It's range racks, but
Still pretty bad though.
yeah. I mean, you don't want to give that kind of anything really up to Virtus Pro. So, okay, the first building, I should say, takes a fall here. It's going to be Virtus Pro taking it down in that mid lane, which we missed clearly. But now it really is up to Arrow
It's
again.
gonna be MK next
Aware
for
rather.
Gyrocopter, I think. He's bought Demon Edge. Just the only thing that makes sense.
You can go Daedalus. I don't know if
You can go Daedalus, but it seems pretty
I
bad.
feel like MKB makes... No, Daedalus is fine on the Gyrocopter.
Well,
Just
it will win that one.
Drunken
for this
Haze,
video.
yeah.
So.
It makes... Yeah, it's the most logical build right now for the Gyrocopter unless he wants to
It's
break
also,
through,
I
which he
mean, with
doesn't.
an Agi carry on the other side, and Butterfly is always a possibility as well.
NS is dead, I think. There's a lot of heroes around here, though. Call. NS.
Yeah, he's dead.
Counter Helix. Procs. It doesn't even matter. That Acceptor, he had, like, full HP. Firefly,
Purge
Demonic
on A.
Purge. Force Staff. BKB TP, he's out of there. Seems like I'm also out of here. Bye.
Well, that's a good pickoff, but they just refuse to pressure high ground here, which really drives me a little bit insane. They have Aegis, like 4,000 gold on Weaver. Aware just seem way too complacent for me. I mean, they're still alive, but every time I feel like every minute this goes, it just a percentage ticks off of their chance of winning.
I agree. We've really harped on them though. And I do want to point out some of their better plays, which early on in the game.
I mean, their laning stage was unreal.
Yeah,
they did
really
a
good.
great job in the laning stage.
Really good.
There's no doubting that. It's just that their decision making has been a little awkward, and that's not surprising. It's a younger team. I mean, I think their play has been fantastic. It's just their decision making has been not great. And
Brewmaster
Virtus Pro are a team that really have a ton of experience between their players. It might have even been one of their issues, but in games like this, having players who have been in this position over and over again
certainly benefits
is
them,
a
yeah.
huge advantage.
Right, I agree. But like, Luigi is like 6-0-13, man. Like that guy is.
Yeah, but they might lose.
Yeah, well, yes.
That's like that 17-0 Morphling. It's like, great, you're 17-0, you still lost.
I'm just trying to sugarcoat it a bit.
I mean, their play has been really good, and I want them to win. Like, I really want them to win with the way they played that laning stage. Super aggressive, but it seems like their mid-game decision-making was not decisive. And I have to say, as much as Chinese Dota might be a little bit displeasing to watch sometimes, their decision-making is super crisp, and it seems like they usually make these right choices.
Every time.
Even the Tier 2 teams that make really questionable play decisions or really questionable item decisions, it seems like their movement is always really good. And now it's just mass buyback up, and that does not seem like a good thing for Aware.
Yeah. This is where it gets a little bit hairy, folks. Berserker's Call, Arsart getting caught out of position.
Good
There's
start.
the Battle Hunger. I don't know, can they get this kill? No. Looks like he didn't get enough Helix procs there, and he was able to force staff away to safety. And now Lolik jumping in, can't get much done. No split coming out, so again, a bit of footsie, but nothing really coming of it. They'll try to kill this Necro Creep, and now it's going to be Aware's time to shine. However, the Wolves down bottom trying to clear this creep wave. Before you know it, Aware might lose a Tier 3 and a set of racks if you see some sort of potential split push action coming after the Lycan. I mean, he has Boots of Travel. You have Keeper of the Light, who doesn't have Ags yet, but he's got his ultimate ready to go, so you can recall it at a moment's notice. The block now there, the creep army ready to go. Illuminate's going to come out as well. They really want this. Blink forward. The Leak has had enough. There's the split. BKBs for Illidan. This is the fight we were waiting for. This Earth Panda is done. My God, he got blown up. Seema, time lapse out. Now there's just too much damage to deal with here for Aware. They're getting caught out. Hakan trying to dunk, not doing so. Getting stunned up. They're going to lose everybody out, except for the Dazzle. The buyback from Lalik already out. They've wasted a couple. 4-step forward. Stress. He's going to grave up. He'll TP away, and he'll make it out just in time. Lalik is going in hard for whatever reason. He wants Illidan, but this is his death.
Oh,
that's a dieback, and maybe even GG. Oh, Seema bought back, and he died as well, I think.
He didn't
No, he did not die back. No, just kidding. He still had his buyback ready to go. But he's down for 85 seconds. He's got no buyback now. Hakan will buyback. And
that's a defense buyback.
they're botsing down bottom. G is ready to go right on this Tier 3 tower. Berserker's Call, Battle Hunger, and, well, not the Battle Hunger, rather the Blade Melt going Hakan now. And he's not doing much. He actually just backed away immediately. The Shapeshift is going to go. Dazzle getting blown up. That damaged the Necro Archer using his Mana Drain as well. And Virtus Pro, they're about to take not only a set of racks, but probably the game, I'd say. Aware with a solid start. They get caught out. They're not aggressive enough in the early to mid game, and unfortunately, it might cost them the game here. The last was up on the backside. Roger's getting caught out. There's the Demonic Purge. Disruption to save his life. Hakan's still alive, but just barely. Well, barely for now, rather. He's going to get Flame Break back. Nice grave. Still probably dead. Waiting for the GG now at this point. There is going to be a triple kill for Illidan, who somehow got so much farm. Well played is called. Aware's got to be upset about that one, but Virtus Pro on the verge of death. They survive and take the victory.
Yeah, that was just a lack of transition from the laning phase into the mid game, and it's something that we see quite a bit from newer teams, and it's definitely one of the harder things. So I don't know. So Aware dropped to 0-4 after. I don't know. That game was... I wonder if the other games were like that. Their early game was so good. Their laning was perfect. They called the lanes correctly. They positioned everything correctly. They got farm all the right heroes, and ugh, it just ends up in bad things for them. Bad things. VP just had so much room to farm that game. I mean, Gyro was 0-7 at one point. I'm pretty sure. And now he's 10-8. That is
That's not how you want to. That's not how you want to end a game. If you're Aware Gaming, that is, they were so close. We talked about it so much. It's very disappointing. I think and they've got to be feeling it too. You don't want to harp on them as players too much because this is TI4 and you understand what they're going for. And that loss might even put them pretty far off of playoff contention. Like they were
pretty close
beforehand.
I mean, it's not. I think 0-5 is like the hard limit for most of these previous qualifiers, but
0-4 is you don't want to be stuck there unless you win every single game and you come back and you have a run back on your last day. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen here for Aware, and that's understandable. With the play they had there, you could see why. You talked about decision making and how big of a deal it is in these qualifiers. It just wasn't there for the Aware squad. For Virtus Pro, again, experience plays a big factor on this big of a stage with this big of an event on the line. You need to be composed. You need to be ready to go. Virtus Pro, they didn't play the best laning phase, and arguably they look shaky at times. I think they didn't play that great in their past couple of games as well, but they seem to have taken some victories that they didn't look like they can get. So for Aware, you're just like,
I mean, Aware, it's a really new squad.
Yeah,
like you can't be too surprised that these sort of things happen with that new of players, but it's still really rough.
Yeah,
you don't like to see that happen.
You don't.
That was a game that they probably could have won. I mean, they probably should have won, and it just falls out of their hands. So rough stuff. Well, where does that leave us here in the standings?
Well, Virtus Pro is now going to be up to 3-1 after that victory, which is really solid for them. Aware 0-4 like we talked about. The games for the other games, or rather the other round of games, have not yet finished, so we'll wait and see what comes of those games. I believe the other games going on right now are going to be next KZ versus MYM. Maybe important for next KZ. I don't know about MYM. I'm not sure. Coast versus Hehe United. Coast have the advantage. Generally, people will favor them in that matchup. Mouse versus Power Rangers, a pretty good game there. And then, of course, this one, which we just finished up. So, still a lot of Dota action to get through today. We have 2 more games, I believe, on this stream. In fact, if we can look it up right now, it is going to be Relax versus Monomaniacs, a.k.a. Coast Gaming, and then Aware versus Mouse Sports to finish it all off, guys. So make sure you go ahead and follow us on this channel, twitch.tv/HighGroundTV. For all of you Dota in-game viewers, please go ahead and follow us over there on the channel as well on Twitch. We'd really appreciate it, and thanks for listening to us here on Dota TV. If you, of course, like to follow us, you can follow us at MontDota2 on Twitter for myself and at WhatIsHipTV for Greg. At WhatIsHipTV over there, and we will take a quick break. We'll be right back into the next game, and I'm gonna get some coffee. Jeez. All right, we'll be back, guys. Stick around.